In this tutorial, I'm going to show you a really simple, easy way to put binding on your quilt using your sewing machine. Let's get started. We need to measure our quilt going both directions so that we know how many inches of binding we need to make. So now that we've measured our quilt, we're going to cut 2.5-inch strips for the binding. Now that we've cut our strips 2.5 inches wide, we're going to sew them together end to end in one long chain. Like this. Sew them together and make one long chain, and then we'll go to the next step. Now that we've sewn all of our strips together, we're going to fold this in half, wrong sides touching, and we're going to press it with the iron. Go through the whole chain and press it like this. After we iron the binding in half, we're going to clip it to the front of the quilt. The first 8 inches of this binding is not going to be stitched down. It's going to be left loose so that we can join it up when we come around the quilt. Okay, so the next step, when you get to the corner, stop at 1/4 inch. You're going to fold this up, and you're going to bring it back down. This is making your 45-degree corner. And then you're going to clip it to hold it. And then you'll clip the binding going down the next side of your quilt. We'll start stitching right here, and we'll just come all the way down the side. Okay, so there's 2 ways that we can join the ends together. Simple way is you can take this one and fold it up. Then take this end and lay it inside of it. Kind of like a casing. Just tuck it in there real nice and neat. Make it tight. Like that. And clip it to hold everything in place. And then you could just continue stitching all the way down, and it's folded into the binding. Another way that you could do it is you could open these strips up. If I can get it open. Open the strips up and measure roughly where your seam would be if you stitch them together. Here's where we started stitching our binding. So it's going to go over that and a back stitch right there. Okay. So it's all sewn on. Now we're going to turn it all around. So we can sew it to the back of the quilt now. We'll do that next. So we're going to take the binding, roll it to the back, and start stitching it down. We're going to go all the way around the quilt. I'll show you how we do the corners when we get there. Pretty good, right? So what I do for my binding is when I trim my quilts up, I use the backing material and I cut it into 2.5-inch strips using my AccuQuilt. And that way, when you stitch it to the front and you roll it back, it matches the back of the quilt and it looks nice. Okay, so when you get down here to the corner, you're going to lay it down flat like that, and then you're going to fold it up. You should have a little, and I usually back stitch right there. Then I'll turn the quilt and start stitching it down going this direction next. Okay, the binding's on all the way around the quilt. That's it. Pretty simple.
Like and subscribe to Grandma's channel. Like and subscribe.